Popeye the Sailor. Exciting news quickly circulated that Popeye, the famous spinach-eating sailor man from E.C. Segar's Thimble Theater comic book series, had signed a contract to become a movie star with Fleischer Studios. The initial scene shot was of Popeye walking across his ship while singing his iconic theme song for the first time. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Woo! I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Woo! I'm strong to the finish, 'cause I eats me spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Woo woo! I'm one tough kazookas, what hates all palookas, what ain't on the up and square. I biffs 'em and buffs 'em and always outroughs 'em, and none of 'em gets nowhere. If anyone dasses to risk my fisk, it's buff and it's wham, understand? So keep good behavior, that's your one lifesaver with Popeye the Sailor Man. Later, the ship's captain announced, "Shore leave!" and all the crew members disembarked. The port they arrived at was where Popeye's beloved girlfriend, Olive Oil, eagerly awaited his arrival. "Popeye! Oh, Popeye!" she called out. As she turned around, she was surprised to see Bluto, Popeye's arch-enemy, approaching her. She defended herself with punches and kicks until Popeye intervened and stopped the fight. He then took Olive along with him to the carnival. Popeye and Olive knew the carnival had a lot of fun in store. It had roller coasters, a large Ferris wheel, carousels, live shows, and the infamous Tunnel of Love. The couple paid the admission fee of 10 cents and walked in. However, Bluto had followed them into the carnival, and instead of paying 10 cents, he blew all the feathers clean off the peacock at the admission stand. Popeye and Bluto vied for the affection of Olive in any way they could at the carnival, Popeye besting Bluto every time. While Bluto rang the bell of a high striker with a mallet, Popeye ripped the mallet to shreds and hit the lever so hard the puck knocked the bell out of the way and gave the sun a black eye. While Bluto threw a ball at an African dodger that was propelled back at him, Popeye took several balls and used his arm muscles to throw them, all of which hit the dodger. Later, Popeye, Olive, and Bluto gathered with several other patrons to watch a live performance. "Over here!" came the booming announcement. "Our hula hula dancer, Betty Boop!" The audience erupted in applause as Betty emerged from behind the curtain, singing a beautiful Hawaiian song while gracefully moving to the music. "I'm coming back to you, my hula-loo. Beside the sea at Waikiki, you'll play for me. And once again you'll sway my heart your way with your yakahula dicky dula too." Eventually, Popeye came on stage and copied Betty's movements as best he could, and even stole the long beard of Madame Hari, wearing it as a makeshift grass skirt. As he was dancing, a snake bit Popeye on his rear end, so he retaliated by waving his pipe in the snake's face, causing it to fall unconscious from the smoke. While he and Betty were not looking, Bluto grabbed Olive and said, "Marry me!" Olive defended herself as she had done before, and called for Popeye to save her. Betty alerted Popeye to the situation, prompting him to swiftly pursue Bluto. Bluto made various attempts to impede Popeye's progress. First, he employed a bird's beak to sever the ropes of a bridge that Popeye had to cross to reach Olive and Bluto. Fortunately, Popeye swiftly noticed the bridge collapsing and managed to escape unharmed. Spotting a rope nearby, he used it as a lasso to seize a tree trunk. With all his might, he pulled the other end of the fallen bridge towards him. Further along, Olive found herself tied to a railroad track with Bluto as her captor. Once Popeye had arrived at the scene, Bluto punched him away, Popeye hitting his head on a rock. Popeye retaliated by kicking Bluto in the face with both feet, prompting Bluto to grab him by the legs and spin him around and around. Panic set in as Olive saw a train quickly approaching, realizing her imminent danger. In an intense fight, Popeye managed to break free from Bluto's grasp and delivered multiple punches, but not before Bluto started jumping on Popeye, lying on his front. With no other options, Popeye busted out his can of spinach and downed its contents. As Bluto tried to attack with a tree, Popeye punched both it and Bluto, ultimately trapping Bluto in a wooden coffin made from the tree. As Popeye held his pipe admiring the sight, he heard one more shriek for help from Olive, still trapped within the railroad tracks. In a brave attempt to rescue her, Popeye rushed to her aid, but to no avail. The train was inches away from running Olive over when Popeye summoned all his strength and dismantled the oncoming train with a single punch. Olive was safe and sound thanks to Popeye's heroic actions. She hugged him tightly, thanking him for saving her life. Popeye just smiled and took a puff from his pipe, happy to have been able to help his love. As they walked away from the railroad tracks hand in hand, Popeye couldn't help but feel grateful for his incredible strength and the ability to use it for good. He knew that he would always be there to protect Olive and anyone else in need. But that's another story.